things are going down this week on Once Upon a Time, guys. So stay tuned because we're going to be talking about Season 6, Episode 19, The Black Fairy. Ooh. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I know, it just makes me want to bust into like a ballet dance when it starts. It's like, twinkle, twinkle. Dakota, you are not the Black Swan. Calm down, okay? Just, no.
He wants to be.
He wants it so bad.
The Black Swan.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time's after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Tiona Hobson, and joining me tonight, we've got the Professor Serafini.
Hello, everyone. Yes, you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
What's up, guys? It's Dakota T. Jones. You can find me everywhere at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
And Miss Ally Nasta.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl.
Ally Girl in the house. Alright, guys, so tonight's episode was all about the backstory of the Black Fairy and
Yes.
finding out her big, dark, twisted secret.
Yeah, and a little bit more backstory on Rumple as well. Or like
Yes.
more explanation to his backstory.
Yes.
Definitely. It was so interesting to finally see. I love the episodes where we get such juicy information, and it's like, yes, so many answers of all the things we've wondered throughout like this whole Black Fairy story.
I know, and I actually I sympathize with her. I know she's done a lot of bad things, but I do sympathize with her, seeing that she really did love him, and that she did bad things to protect him, and then ended up screwing everything up.
I don't really feel for her because she did it, like she could have had this great life with him, but she chose power over her son.
It just runs in the family at this point because he did the same thing to his child, and his dad ended up doing, the same thing to him too.
Yeah.
It's just this family is cursed in many ways of parents just not making the best decision for their children because all of this could have been easily solved if she had just given up her powers.
Totally.
I mean,
I know, and she was so used to living her life without them, so I don't know why she got like one little taste, and it's exactly what pretty much happened to Rumple. He got one little taste of power, and he just didn't want to give it up. And it's like, you've lived most of your life without it, so it's not like a big transition to go back not having any power.
Well, I also think the fear played a big integral part in her decision making too. Yeah, she had the powers that helped her, accomplish X, Y, and Z, especially trying to put the Dark Person together, but also the fear of what could happen to her son, and knowing that someone could kill him and be like, no, and so I think that gave her motivation as a parent to be, I'm going to do whatever it takes, even if that does mean not giving up my magic and keeping my magic to save my son. So I can see it that way too.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
thought
see
Dakota was gonna say more, but he stopped at and I was like,
No, I was just taking it in. I'm like, I get it. Like, it makes sense. I just wish that she could have made a few other decisions, because in the end, she really did want to be the first son. That's what drove her to do bad things in the first place. But then she got out of hand, and then,
Yeah, it all kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
And such a quick amount of time, too.
Yeah, I mean, all in one winter, guys.
all in one measly winter.
But one of the things I loved about this backstory was finding out what happened to Tiger Lily, because we got the tease of, that she used to be a fairy, and we never really saw any of that or how it happened or anything. So I love seeing that Tiger Lily was Rumple's fairy godmother.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I loved that tie-in because I keep reminding myself that Peter Pan was Rumple's dad. Because I keep forgetting that. I don't know why. It's something that I keep pushing out and then I keep remembering, and I thought that was cool that they tied them in together.
I'm confused because, Peter Pan... wait, hold on, because that guy that was the Black Fairy's husband, who was that?
That was Peter,
Rumple's
dad.
But then you said Peter Pan was his dad.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
He turns into Peter Pan, remember?
The young Pan was technically Rumple's father in young form.
Okay, so...
Because he didn't want to give up his youth.
So the guy that we saw who was older, who, gave him the name Rumpelstiltskin, that was Pan?
Yes.
Even though he was old?
Well, the actor who played Peter Pan is
That's
your
different.
age. So I don't think he was going to fit the description of being old enough to be Rumple's dad in that
so
flashback.
he just whenever Pan went to Neverland, he just formed back into his young self?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, wait a minute. But yeah. That would have been weird.
I know. I kind of had to talk myself through it too.
Yeah, I was like, hold on.
Like, I like the establishment of Tiger Lily's character, again, going against canon, that they use their creative devices for, which I think they did a really good job. But now knowing that Rumpel could have been raised by good people is scary, knowing how he turned out. Shoot. Things could have been so much different for him.
So much. He was supposed to be a hero.
He was supposed to be the savior. He was light magic when he was born, and now he is nothing but the Dark One.
Yeah.
You know, that's who he is. And the other thing I loved about this Tiger Lily tie-in is, you know, like we were saying, in the Disney movie growing up, you know, Tiger Lily and Peter Pan were really good friends.
Yeah.
But clearly in this version, since Peter Pan is a bad guy, they weren't so nice to each other. And Tiger Lily, you know, like this whole tie-in of her having this back relationship with that family.
Yeah.
I really hope that we get more of Tiger Lily's story and what exactly happened afterwards, especially like did she go to Neverland to try and get his dad to come back to his son? Like what brought her there? How did she not be a fairy anymore? Because we never saw that part either.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of questions with Tiger Lily.
Yeah,
Because she's like an
definitely.
Indian, but also a fairy too. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, remember in the movie?
Yes.
She was like an Indian, and so like she's still like the Indian, but now the difference
I don't think
is,
they're going more so Indian for this show.
I mean,
Just
she still wears like the some of the tribal things and stuff like that, but like it's almost more like she's more of a fairy than an Indian rather than the Disney version.
for this show.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think they ever really established that she's Indian, quote unquote, that she's just there because she was a friend of Hook, and then also now a friend of the Black Fairy before she turned black. So like she could have been like just a good family friend, really.
That's true.
Yeah.
So they took that creative freedom like from the Disney, like they changed it.
Yeah.
And I love that we got to learn the Black Fairy's name today. Her name is Fiona.
Fiona.
Which, okay.
And next
It
week
wasn't-
we'll see Shrek.
It wasn't the name I was I don't know what name I was expecting.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but tie it back into some more little fantasy mystical.
Well, people
Fiona.
people in the live chat, thanks everyone. People are thinking, the Sleeping Beauty fairies, where you had like Fiona or Fauna. That's
Fauna,
one.
Flora,
Fauna,
and
Flora,
Merryweather.
and Merryweather.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, when I saw Blue and Tiger Lily flying, I was like, oh my
know.
gosh,
I was like, it's
the
them.
fairies from Sleeping Beauty, and then it wasn't.
And it wasn't. But I think maybe that was like their kind of Once Upon a Time version.
Right.
That's cool.
It's close to Fauna.
It is. Well, Tiger Lily and Fiona clearly get very close very quickly because Tiger Lily keeps bringing all these books over. Little does she know is that Fiona's reading up and coming up with a plan and takes her wand and does a spell to turn herself into a fairy.
Which I thought was
Crazy.
so crazy. It's like, whoa. You can just turn yourself into a fairy?
It's that easy to become a fairy? I thought there should be an application process.
Exactly.
You have to go through some training. Or something, make sure your heart is pure and good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thought you were born a fairy, not just
Yeah.
deciding to be one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Totally.
I'm like we would have turned ourselves a long time ago.
Maybe.
What?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think it's just interesting, how quick that happened, because we know that, I think Blue Fairy says, or no, it was Tiger Lily, it's you've not read more fairy tales and, folklore than the regular fairies have. So,
Yeah.
in fairness, Fiona's more educated than everybody else, so she probably could find a way to turn herself into a fairy that other people didn't know.
Yeah. That's true, but it's so crazy too to think that if Tiger Lily would have known that maybe don't put your wand on the table.
Yeah,
You know,
here, hold my
maybe
child,
you
so I'll
should-
take your wand.
Yeah, maybe you should be a little bit more cautious, knowing that there is a way to be able to turn yourself into a fairy so easily.
Yeah, she should have a wand holster.
Which,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Lock it up.
Which I kind of was asking myself, maybe you guys can help me answer this, but so Fiona didn't have any magic prior. Rumpel was given light magic because of the true love of
Right.
their relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was. Oh wow! I didn't even. I was like light magic, but I forgot that his parents were actually in love with each other because I just see them both as evil people.
I know.
It's hard to go back and remember that. But so Fiona's plan here, after the whole finding the child doesn't work out, they can't find the kid with the crescent moon. So then she's like, I want to create a spell to, you know, make a place where I can send my child to a place with no magic so that he'll be protected and no one can hurt him. And then Tiger Lily realizes that she's actually building a curse.
Yeah.
And not a spell to help people. And that's when they try to stop her and things start going south. And that's when she becomes the Black Fairy and she gets that crescent. Now, at this point, I'm just thinking, you just became the thing that you're fearful of, killing your son, so why not do him a favor and just
retract your powers.
Retract your powers, or just stop. Just know that you are the person who's going to come after your son, and you should stop now instead of just letting the darkness really take over.
Exactly, because if she would have done that, I mean, she was the person who was going to, like, destroy her son, but if she would have retracted that, I wonder if that burden would have been placed on someone else, or if the curse would have just been totally canceled. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if that means that it would have just been totally out of the question, now we're good, or if it would mean someone else who would be the great evil.
Yeah.
You know, it would get transferred.
Yeah, that's kind of where, like, we were talking about her intentions, and that's why I kind of feel like she didn't have great intentions at any part of it, because she could have, like we said, taken that burden off of herself and her son. They could have lived a happy life with her husband, and they would have had a family. So it's like, she just, I feel like, got a little too far ahead of herself, because she was able to retract that, and she just, like, kept acting so quickly. Like, there was no chance for, like, any type of thought process. It's just like, well, if this isn't gonna happen, I'm just gonna jump to this conclusion and whatnot. And she legitimately said that she was gonna choose power over protection of her son.
Because the thing I got confused about is, so once, if she had given up her power, she felt like she couldn't give up her power because she still had to protect him. But if she didn't have power, then there's nothing to protect him from, right? Was my mind the only one that went down that route? Or?
Yeah, I think there's the fact that, like, if she was powerless, she had no ways of protecting, you know, Rumpel, even if it was now technically her to be destined. So I think it was more so like that control issue that she was having, that she didn't want to give up her power, which is really sad considering it all backfired on her, literally.
Totally. And the fact that she now has the crescent moon that's going to kill her son, knowing that, and knowing that she worked so hard to protect him from that, and that she'd still choose power over it, it's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, I want to know why she thinks that she's gonna kill her son, because I mean, as the mother, I mean, I know that it's like destined.
Well, it was prophesized from the book of prophecy that they said.
So, like, what would happen though? I mean, like, would she just, like, turn on her son one day and, like, take him out?
She doesn't know. She just knows that someone is going to kill the savior.
This whole thing is very reminiscent of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
And just once you hear a prophecy, it's not necessarily going to be what you think, and sometimes you can create the prophecy into existence. Like in Harry Potter, you know, it was like a child who was born on this day, and there was many children born that day. Voldemort chose Harry. He thought that was the one. He went down that path. So it's kind of the same thought process here. Is like, it could have been anyone, but because you did all these things, and you took a fairy's heart and threatened to kill her. You know, you became darkness yourself and curse yourself in that
makes sense. And it was kind of like, I guess that prophecy is like, it could have been maybe like not happened, but because she went out of her way to try to solve these issues, it like, she like almost like, what is it called when you, like, I mean, she basically
self-fulfilling prophecy, more so.
Yeah, like, she just, like, instead of just, like, waiting it out, she did it to herself because she was so eager to stop it from happening. And, like, that's, like, when you're not supposed to, like, when you see movies where, like, you can't change anything in the past because it'll affect the future, I feel like that's kind of, like, aligned with this prophecy thing.
Well, I kind of feel like this whole thing is actually Tiger Lily's fault, because if he hadn't have told her about the prophecy to begin with, she wouldn't have known, and then none of this would have happened.
Well, people in the live chat are saying Tiger Lily could have told Hook about this, and then Hook would have, like, told Rumpel, and then all of this could have been figured out even faster.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's true, because it was they were scared of the blue fairy waking up to tell, but Tiger Lily was there, and she didn't tell Hook any of this when they were in Neverland together.
Yeah, that's so true. And
Tiger Lily, you really messing up, girl.
You're not on your game.
Well, maybe in fairness, that Tiger Lily didn't know that this current baby that she was trying to protect was gonna grow up to be Rumpel, and she only knew him from what we saw when Rumpel was a baby.
She was there when the dad named him Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
and that's a very not common name.
That's very true.
It's not
I know.
like,
I
I was
wonder.
just trying to stick up for Tiger Lily.
I know.
I just want to know, like, why Rumpelstiltskin? Because he obviously was in
He's
such.
bitter.
He was in. What does that mean, though?
Yeah, I was,
Like, what does that mean? I mean, he obviously did it as, like, I am so mad at this kid, I'm going to name him this ugly name. But, like, does the name have a meaning to it, or does he just think that's what I'm going to call my son?
Would you want the name Rumpelstiltskin?
No, I wouldn't. But I feel like there might be some, like, meaning behind the name.
Well, I think that the poem, I'm trying to remember, the actual Rumpelstiltskin poem, there's like a meaning behind the name.
Okay.
Let me look
Professor's
that up,
on
shall
it.
we?
The professor's on it. So our flashbacks and our real life kind of intertwined tonight, which was really cool. So we have Gold, who has woken up the Blue Fairy, and they're trying to get answers out of Gideon because he cuffed him so that he can't use his magic after, you know, he was caught in the store disguised as David. And he sends Gideon, Rumple, and Emma into the dream realm to get answers from Gideon. And while they're there, we see him go to the house that he was born in and have to reminisce on that. They finally find Gideon, and he doesn't know where his heart is, and he's basically useless.
I know.
But it comes down to Rumple needing to find out, you know, why his mom abandoned him, because Gideon does tell him, like, she doesn't want you to know this one thing, so we have to figure it out. And in this, Rumple has to dig deep and be vulnerable, and Emma's like, hey, I'm an orphan too, you know. It was a really great talk that she gave to him and to really open him up to being open to this. But it's really cool that then they all got to go into the flashback within the flashback.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, it was like a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
A flashback within a dream.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
was
it
super
was.
cool, and like to have them all standing there watching this, because usually if someone's going to go back into their memories, it's just that person who gets to watch it. But it's really cool to see the three of them there.
Definitely.
With him.
I kind of like it. Whenever something happens with Rumple, I love that there's, like, if there's someone else that knows the story too, because you never know what he's going to do with that information. So it's like, I'm glad that Emma was there, because whatever he's planning to do, she has some sort of, like, backstory of, like, what the answer is, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just don't understand why everyone always is so quick to trust Rumple again. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, we're going to trust you. Oh, do you trust me? Yeah, we trust you. And it's like, we've not learned so many times before.
Oh my god. I mean, it's like we're watching this and I'm like, nah. We never saw him actually banish, quote unquote, the Black Fairy. It's like we never physically saw it, so you know it never really happened.
I
I just
know.
want to know where they got the black heart from. Like, obviously it wasn't hers.
Was it his? That's what I was trying to
It
figure
could
out.
have been the heart of a pig. Who knows?
That's
But the
true.
pig would have to be super evil.
No, but
Yeah.
it's not the
painted it.
first time we've seen a false heart.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You know, it's just like it really doesn't matter because it's not the Black Fairy's heart anyway.
I would have crushed it.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Why did they just put it on the
They're
table?
like, here's
Yeah.
her heart. I was like, great, give me a hammer. Boom.
Well, yeah, it was like, it
You
was
don't even
kind
need a
of.
hammer, just crush it in a hand.
It was weird how they just would have it on the table like that, because we all know that if you take someone's heart, that doesn't mean they're dead. It means
Right.
that you just have control over it. So why were they so quick to be like, oh, okay, we're safe now, when clearly she's still walking
Because
around?
they're thinking that they're in control of her. So
Oh.
and he said that she had been banished. So if he sent her away somewhere and has her heart, then she can't ever
Right.
come
And-
mess with them again.
And never will be a problem for us. Like,
Yeah.
we know that's
I know.
not true.
And I love how
Yeah.
everyone doesn't. I mean, everyone is like against Lena. Like, oh, she's never gonna change. She's never gonna change. But then like the second that Rumple decides he's gonna maybe do something good, they're like, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. It's like he's never done anything like good.
Yeah. I knew that there was. I literally wrote down, "This is all seeming too good to be true.
Yeah.
Something is fishy
That's all
behind his
very-
I was
eyes."
like, don't believe it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a very positive episode of like, ooh, everything's wrapping up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we are 3 episodes away from the finale, so things do need to start getting
Yeah.
wrapped up in happy endings coming for people and whatnot. But it just seemed a little soon for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but
like the fact that, just like it still kills me that they nobody saw what happened to them, and like they should know, but like through all these different battles they've gone through, they should have seen it with their own 2 eyes before like jumping to, we trust you again.
yes.
Yeah, so especially Rumple of all people, who we know always double crosses them time and time again. It's really
Emma
annoying.
even said it in their dream realm. She's like, I need to know that you are actually on my side when we go to face her in
Yeah.
the big battle. And then let's talk about this battle that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Rumple finds her and confronts her, and she's like, but you didn't see the whole story. And I was like, the whole story actually makes you a worse person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You should have just taken it.
Where he knew.
Let me show you how messed up I really am.
And then she's like, oh, but you get it. Like, you get it.
We're
cool, right? Like, can you forgive me? We can be a family again.
I was like, oh, what?
First of all, you look younger than him now because you're a fairy who's not aging and he's 3,000 years old.
Yeah. Awkward.
It's a little late for him to need his mom.
Yeah.
Well, and that was killing me too, because it was like, I'm confused. It's because they're both so manipulative. I'm like, are you believing this and being okay with it, Rumple, or are you taking it in? You have your own agenda,
and
then I'm like,
does.
Is she like manipulating him, and is that her actual like that whole situation? My brain was just like, all right, who's telling the truth here? Who's not?
I think
who's like.
I don't know. I feel like they're both not telling the truth, but I do feel like Rumple, even though he's lying to everyone and saying that he's banished her, I think he does in the back of his mind maybe have some kind of another agenda. He's not wanting to be all cool with his mom now. I think he's just trying to wait it out and kind of be on her side a little bit to see her plan so he can shut her down. So, I mean, that might be a possibility
Dakota,
too.
I'm going to say something that I'm pretty sure I've never said on this show before.
What's that?
I agree with you. I do.
Let's just take this moment in.
I agree.
I can understand how that could happen.
Yes, I could understand how that could happen. He did tell Belle and Gideon after he gave Gideon back his heart, I just want to make a promise to you two that anything I'm doing is always to protect you.
Yeah.
And so I do genuinely believe Rumple doesn't forgive and forget that easily.
Yeah. That's true.
So that's my biggest thing, where I'm not necessarily trusting him, but I just know that this isn't his end game.
Yeah,
there's
that's
more
true.
to his plan.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys on that front too, because it does make sense that there'd be something else behind his like eyes or his thought process.
Yeah.
But one thing too, I want to kind of remember that I was thinking about was that when they were first found out, when Belle and Rumple found out they were having a baby for the first time. When they went in that dreamland and Gideon talked to Belle, he said that there was going to be something that his father did that, like, you know, he'll never forgive him for. So is that thing that he never will forgive, the fact that, like, he kind of got banished, or is that what's happening? You know what I mean? Is that what you should never forgive him for and be careful is what this plan he's cultivating? That's kind of something I was wondering.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I don't know anymore how, because they got rid of the baby so early in his life that Rumple was never able to do anything to betray him, and then he grew up so fast that he came back. I don't know how that works anymore.
Yeah, like that's what it's like. What's the biggest bad thing that he could have done?
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, the other big question is, now that Gideon is back and he has his own heart and everything, does he get to go to the wedding tomorrow? Or, because like 2 days ago he was trying to kill the bride, so like, but now he didn't have control of his heart or
He's going to be a groomsman. He's going to be a groomsman.
He might have got an invitation via osmosis, you know.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yes, that could also be it. I was just like, you know, he was a bad guy, then he was a good guy, and then he was a good guy who's being controlled by the bad guy. So it wasn't really his fault.
Like,
can he come still or not?
He literally wrapped Emma up in a spider's web and walked away.
Oh
like,
God, that was horrible.
Let's not
I don't know if you can
Go back
bounce
to
back.
that episode.
Yes.
I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting and seeing, there's some. So let's talk about everyone else in Storybrooke, because everyone else was just on their own level. Like, no one notices that Emma never came back and been asleep for hours in Gold's shop with Belle of all people watching over them.
Yeah.
But the Blue Fairy is awake now. She gets kidnapped and then almost tortured, but not really. She like gets a wand to her head to take her memories or something. Very Harry Potter. Yeah, I was like, is he about to? Are we gonna see the white slivery?
We just need a pensive, you know.
Yeah. And then no one cared really until the end about her again. It was like, oh, we have to find the wand, the other parts of the wand. And I was like, what about finding Blue, who was just kidnapped after being asleep in a spell for months? How about we get her home?
I love when
They
Blue
don't
woke
care.
up and like Hook immediately was there to interrogate her. It's like, give her a minute.
Yeah, that was actually funny.
That was
yeah.
great.
That was really funny.
But then we realized that the only reason that Snow was saying give her a minute was because it was the Black Fairy in disguise. But
Yeah,
for a
you're
second I was like, I agree with you, Snow. Like, goodness gracious. She's
get
like,
some answers
all right, so you're
first."
awake. Hey, let me. And she's
Yeah.
like, just hold up.
Hold on. Let the woman breathe.
I know.
Right.
That'd be a lot to wake up to. Be like, what the heck?
Yeah. So we know that the wand is in the heart of Storybrooke, which takes everyone to the center of Storybrooke. Is what
Center
they
of
said,
Storybrooke, which is the clock.
which is
But it's not
clock
the
tower.
heart.
clock, but it's not the
It's
heart,
not the heart.
of it. The heart of it is Granny's, which is why Emma should be getting married there. I just don't understand
Yeah.
it.
It's just not a big enough venue.
It's not a big venue, yeah.
Well, if you take Gideon off the list, then
Then we might be able to squeeze.
yeah, you know, one less person to fit in there. So they go to Granny's. Now here's where my plot questioning comes up.
Right. I know exactly
So
where you're
when the curse was made, if Blue didn't remember being Blue, how did she hide a wand, a piece of a wand, in Granny's if she was under a curse?
Maybe.
And you could say maybe it was after she woke up from the curse, but Granny's not leaving that place long enough for you to like dig up tiles in her. She
In
would
her
have came
place.
at you with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she would
Granny
have.
would have been aware of this.
Well, I guess my thought process goes because you know how there's certain things within Storybrooke that was built in with the curse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if that was built in with the
Oh,
curse.
that's a good
like
point.
it was just like it came. You know how like it just appeared,
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
it was already hidden under there, and it's been there
It's like
for
a
like
little
28
hidden key.
years.
So
Yeah.
then-
I mean, I
so
can
then-
understand
but-
it. Like, if you can believe that all these magical items ended up in Rumpel's shop without us knowing, then maybe that one could have ended up in Granny's shop without us knowing.
But
Yeah.
if we go into the building of the curse, the Black Fairy built the curse, so then she would have known where to find
The
the
wand.
wand if it
That's
was
true.
like built into it. See how like
Yeah, you're like, where did it come
it's one
from?
of those things where you probably just should let it
like
slide.
we're like thinking way
Yeah,
too much. We're like,
thinking way
no,
too much.
where did
I
it come
mean,
from?
The show is clearly given up on timelines because they just keep using many years ago. They don't even want to figure out
Many
where on
years
the
ago.
timeline this stuff
You're
is.
like,
Yes,
we're
it's
not
our
even
job
sure.
to figure out where
Yeah.
to be stick it in the timeline.
I think this one is pretty easy to just put all the way at the beginning, you know, for these
Yeah.
flashbacks since it's the birth of Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that one's an easy placement, but
Yeah. Which is still kind of confusing because it's like with all these curses and years, like how old is he actually?
Right?
You know?
it gets very
Yeah,
weird.
seriously.
But they are able to find the wand, so they have both pieces now. Before they can get it to Emma, though, because she's asleep, Regina and the Black Fairy have a little face-off.
Oh my god.
No, that's pretty good. It's like Regina, like to her
Oh
old
my
self,
gosh.
you know, like bring it on. I'm like, yeah, girl, go for
Yeah.
it.
And I loved Zelina's
So
come
good.
through.
Oh my gosh, she came through.
Hysterical.
Coming through with the car, like, oh, it's so much easier to drive when you want to hit me.
Oh my gosh, but whenever that happened, we were all just so shocked because we were thinking like they were gonna have this big battle, and I was like,
But you know, like I gotta give it to you. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Zelina, but the whole Regina and Zelina scene was a whole setup for that one moment
I love
of
that.
Zelina running into the Black
Yeah.
Fairy.
I know.
Like, good job, writers. You
Yeah,
know.
'cause, I
that was a
mean-
good long-winded joke.
Yeah, because Zelina's over here having trouble, you know, acclimating to her life with no magic.
Love
and
it.
Yeah.
getting frustrated, and Regina's just like, hey, I did it for 28 years. It is possible to do.
Yeah.
I know.
It's tough, but
And the whole
it's
fact
possible.
where she's
Sniggler.
having to.
Sniggler, that was like the best joke, like IKEA. Okay, I didn't name it, the Swedes did. I think I was the only one joking at that. I think, like, I don't remember you guys laughing.
No,
I
went
thought
over
it was
my head.
hysterical.
It definitely went over my head.
It's IKEA.
But then, you know, Regina also wants to teach Zelina to drive, and I thought this was a really touching moment between the two sisters, and
Yeah.
hopefully a sign of them working together more and
Right.
not fighting like they usually are. Just, you know, Regina's like, hey, when this final battle happens, there's gonna be casualties, it's gonna be crazy, and I want you to get Henry out of here, along with Robin, you know, go to New York. Everything, like, New York is such a safe place.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
it's close by, but it's not the safest part of town.
Yeah, like, why?
Someone needs to get these people a map so they can find like
Other
Google
places.
safest
Yeah.
cities in America.
Yeah.
Go there.
It's not
And
New York.
I love how she said, oh, you want me to raise Henry? And she's like, no, I need Henry to raise you.
Yeah.
You trust me enough to raise Henry? No.
Like, let's be real. Henry's not gonna go into that plan.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know
Mom,
it.
I'm gonna go to New York and live with Aunt Zelina. No, Henry's gonna be like, I'm gonna stay here and fight out the battle.
Right.
Like, we know Henry too well to know that he would
he's
just
not
willingly go to New York.
Right.
He's not like he's still a child, but he's older now.
Definitely.
Like, I just don't think he would fall for that.
They'd have to tie him up and like take him, otherwise
Yeah,
he's
he's
coming-
not gonna go.
He's not going away.
And also, can we why does no one keep talking about what's going on with Henry? He is still
I know.
freaking out, and
Freaking
you know,
out.
his
Maybe-
brain stuff
Invisible.
is going all cuckoo.
Maybe we'll get the answers in, the finale. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, they're building it up just to get... Because next episode, I don't think we're going to get answers to that either, considering it's the wedding singing and all
Yeah.
that. So I think probably we'll find out in the finale. But also, the conversation of, family, and you guys are always talking about, like, Zelina and Regina need to, like, actually be there for each other like sisters, like a family.
Yeah.
I was like, I think this was, like, a true, genuine scene where you can see they're working at it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I liked it too.
Okay.
Marissa.
It was fun.
Okay.
I like seeing Zelina in a good role finally too, because like you could kind of always see she did have like a good sensitive side, but she was just like fighting it the whole
Yeah.
time. So I kind of like seeing her in this newfound self. She's being selfless.
She's rediscovering herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without magic.
Without magic.
She's humbled.
I honestly think that is what she needed to be able to be humbled and to kind of move on and realize, because she always finds herself getting back into those situations where she's using magic for evil or going back to her old ways, and this is something that's really going to be like, well, I better get my crap together, otherwise I'm going to be banished,
Well, in fairness, at the beginning of the episode, Zelina was having a self-pity party right now, but Regina talked to her a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I was okay with her pity party because
She lost her powers.
She didn't lose her powers. She's not used to actually having to build stuff.
I know, yeah.
I wish I had power so that I didn't have to build stuff with my hands.
But turning on and off a light is hard, you guys.
It is, especially when you have to get off of like a comfy position on the
Yeah.
couch to
And
do
go
it.
all
you're
the
like,
way across
God
the
forbid.
room.
I mean, you can't tell you how many times I've tried to like Harry Potter knocks.
Alakazam.
That's what they invented the clapper for.
Yeah,
Come
you're
on.
right.
We've
Yeah.
already had this technology.
I feel like have you ever been to anywhere that has that technology? Because I've never seen it
clapper.
before.
The clapper.
No,
Have you
It was
ever been
invented
to
20-some
I
years
just
ago.
remember in,
now.
like it was a Mary Kate and Ashley movie, and they would just be like,
Oh, yeah.
Billboard, yeah,
yes,
thank you.
Yes, that's
Yes,
what
you're
it was.
And
welcome.
didn't they
I
do
know.
that in Parent Trap too? Like they did that in like the old cabin that randomly had it. Remember that?
No, they had an actual
they
switch
had
because they
the
fought
switch.
over it.
They had the switch.
Oh, that's
Get
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
okay. Now I remember.
I just feel like
Billboard dad, yes. That's
Yes.
your answer. We digress. Okay.
So then, speaking of Henry, at the end of the episode, everyone thinks everything's all safe and sound and cozy, and there's going to be a wedding tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I loved that Hook was waiting for Henry to come in to ask
Aw.
him to do the biggest operation yet, Operation Best Man.
That
It's
made me
sweet.
tear up.
I literally
It's
like
sweet.
got goosebumps. It was like, oh, so cute.
Yeah, I mean,
was
if Hook's
cute.
brother isn't going to come up from the Nautilus for this, then I guess it's great to have Henry there.
I
Yeah.
thought it was really cool because I was expecting, okay, what's the problem now? We're gonna have to figure something else out. He needs his help, and all of a sudden he's like, I want you to be my best man, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like a real moment that they can pause and realize
Yeah.
that there are good things happening for them now, and it's not always, oh, I need your help, but like, hey, I want you to be there for me as my best man. It was a nice moment where they took a pause and were able to enjoy real life.
And I liked it too because it's a way to connect Hook into the family, because Henry
Yeah.
has had operations with both of his moms, and yes, him and Hook have done some stuff together too, but it's really like for Hook to call it Operation Best Man, it really kind of completes
Ties
the
it together.
circle
It shows that he
of,
cares
that
about
new
him.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I loved how eager Hook was too. When he like literally like he was sitting down, he just like jumped up and ran. He's like, wait! Like it was so cute to see him so eager about that, and because like it's fun to see his vulnerable side
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and I mean, Henry better not lose those rings, or else.
Oh
I know.
my gosh!
It's like, this is
Gosh.
going to be an issue.
I know.
already,
It's
you
like the
can
Black
tell.
Fairy comes in and swishes them away. It's like
But it's
something's gotta go
Henry's
wrong.
pretty responsible, but that's going to be a big setup for the next episode where anything that could go wrong will go wrong.
I
Yeah.
can't find the rings.
Losing the rings. That's a big recurring trope within, best man in
Yeah.
a wedding.
Like just
someone always
give it
loses
to
the
him
rings.
later. Like give it to him like right before the wedding's about to start. Don't give it to him the day before.
But like in real
I'm saying like
in real life, usually the best man has the rings for a while.
Yeah.
really? Like how long?
I think
It depends, but usually they hold it for a while.
I don't think so.
I know
so,
people
Marissa.
that hold it for like
I
months.
have no idea.
Months?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've literally
crazy.
been at a wedding where the bride was like, "Go give these rings to the best man for
That's,
me,"
like-
because
That's a smart bride.
she was like, "I don't trust him." It was like right before the ceremony, so
Right.
I was like, "Here's the rings."
All the weddings that I've
Yeah.
been to, it's like that. They're like, okay, well, here's the rings, and like they bring them out just for like a short time because they are not playing games.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's why they stopped putting them on the pillows for the ring bearers because the kids.
Yeah,
would
kids
Right.
can
them
lose
and-
that.
So now the kids like have like an empty pillow a lot of
Yeah.
times. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I never noticed that. I'm so out of the loop with weddings.
It's different for every wedding, apparently.
Yeah.
And you know, and some people are very traditional, like Hook. He's so cute. He's like, "Oh, I'm not staying here tonight. It's bad luck to see."
Oh, when you
I
said that,
know.
my heart melted. I was
But-
like, you're so cute.
But my head went to, you guys were thinking that like Henry, something would happen with the rings and that. My mind immediately went to, Hook needs to be staying here or at least with someone to make sure that no one tries to send him off to another realm again without any notice. And like Emma thinks that she's left at the altar.
I'm so glad you said that because as soon as the door opened, I'm like, what's gonna come after? I'm like, I was expecting someone to like pull him. Like things are going way too good right now.
He needs to
know.
go over to Mary Margaret and David's and stay with them tonight.
And sleep in between them.
Yeah. Like,
You know?
handcuff
'Cause they-
him to David.
Yeah.
So like
Nothing can happen.
They've had their chance to sleep a lot, so maybe they can stay up and just watch it.
Just watch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Okay. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about from this episode?
No, I think we covered it all.
I think we did.
Yeah, I mean, it's really creepy that, Rumpel is working with his mother, but, we don't
Yeah.
know
We
what
don't know.
actually is happening there, so.
It is. I mean, I don't want to keep bringing it back to Belle and Rumpel, but it still seemed like Belle was way too trusting of Rumpel immediately after the whole hand holding. It's like,
Yeah.
I trust that you know what's ever best for our family.
And I'm like, when's that ever been true?
I roll.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that she
Right.
knows that he was supposed to be the savior, she always knew that there was good in him.
Oh,
God,
my
yeah,
God.
I'm
But it's like really because
It's
2
like,
episodes ago
girl,
you were
I don't
like
believe-
not
you don't
having
believe
it.
that. You don't believe that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, and if
Get
you
over yourself.
entrusted that he was going to do the right things for your family, then his son would have never been banished off into another world anyway.
Oh my gosh.
We would have all been saved from this black fairy.
This is my justification for loving you all this time. No.
No.
No. Girl, bye.
Girl, bye. So let's move into some predictions then, huh? Yeah? Everyone ready?
No, what's the
Yeah.
fun in time?
I
we
always
can
go
do
to
that.
predictions first.
Oh, do you?
I don't know why.
I guess.
We'll do predictions and then we'll do Once Upon a Week.
Okay.
I don't know why I always
I
skip to
remember
traditions. Predictions before Once Upon a Week. My
So
bad.
excited.
Okay, predictions. Anyone have it?
I have one. Black Fairy and Rumple are gonna crash the wedding because we're always talking about who's gonna crash the wedding. Something's gonna go wrong. I think those two are gonna crash the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, I thought that the wedding, something was going to happen where it gets called off, and it still may happen, but I think that they've built it up so much, and like you said, they're trying to tie up loose ends. So I feel like you're right, and someone they might crash the wedding, but somehow things will get managed and salvaged, and then they would be able to finish it off and like actually get married, and it still be somewhat, not
Good.
it's still somewhat good and tactful and okay. Like maybe they're about to get crashed and something happens, but I do feel like they've built it up so much that yes, something will go wrong, but I think they will be able to go through with it.
Yes.
Okay. They have shown us that scene of, them standing at the altar,
Right.
actually both of them there. But trailers are meant to throw you off.
Yeah.
100%. So everything looks all happy, hunky-dory, like Snow makes a wish, and then everyone breaks into song dance. Like, I want that to be my life.
Yeah,
Right.
literally.
I don't know why this is a bad thing.
I
But
feel
if you're
like-
trying to cure it, should just be everyday
I feel
life.
like it's
If it works for
Becca.
Glee, it can work for them.
I just
Yeah.
think it's Becca's life. Like,
It's,
you know what I mean?
Oh,
Becca
God.
Brown.
it's her life.
That's her life.
But, I do think that something is not going to go right clearly at this wedding. But like we said earlier, I don't think we're going to get too many answers. I hope that this episode, I know they did say that it will help propel the story. So I hope that we do get some answers for a lot of things. And I don't think that, I don't want to say it.
Say it.
I don't want to
Say
say
it.
that.
No, you
it's
have to
really,
say
it's
it.
really happy, and I'm hooker for life. But I part of me just feels like they're not actually going to get married.
Really?
Like,
See,
they're showing us this, and I think that it would actually be perfect if they don't actually get married in their big, huge ceremony, but then ended up doing something very small, quaint, family only, at Granny's.
Yep.
Great.
That's something that I
In the
said
long
like a
term.
week or so ago. But cool. I did, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Interesting. I would love to see, I'm not sure if this is a prediction, but I would love to see if Rumpel wants to break this tradition of being cowardly and like changing the way he grew up, if he actually gave up his powers to save his family.
Or his life. I mean, or his life.
Like it's like the true sacrifice. He gave up something and not go that dark path and not choose power and strength over like to actually be courageous and actually give it up.
Yeah, I could see.
For real.
Yeah, and then let's say that he's like, I've done so many bad things in the past. I'm just gonna go rogue and just finish this off on my own. It's destined that I'm gonna kill my mom or my mom's gonna kill me. So maybe in the end, either she'll die or he'll die, and then maybe that's why they're trying to make Belle like somewhat like him again. So if he did pass away, then she would be able to be like, have like, oh, we had some nice moments before I passed, type of a thing.
I could see that, I guess, but no, I'm just thinking.
I mean, that'd be intense.
Yeah, but I don't think Rumpel would die, because if the storyline is gonna go on, they're gonna get rid of the Black Fairy over him because he's such an integral part to the story. Because every issue, he's the center of it.
But if they take that away, they could maybe live their lives.
But here's if we're going down that route. Belle said something tonight that just to me seemed a little bit like a premonition of her own demise, because she said something along the lines of that the Black Fairy wasn't going to have Gideon so long as his mother was still breathing, or something like that. And I was like, ooh, girl, that's almost like a death wish on a show like this. You saying like, as long as I'm still breathing, Gideon's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the Black Fairy does something to Belle, which then would get Rumpel back on our side.
Right.
And, like that. But because we still don't know if it's coming back for a 7th season or not, but we know the rumors of who they've been talking to for new contracts for if there is another season. We know that Emma and Gold are not dying this season.
That's
because
true.
they're in negotiations to come back for
But you never know,
season.
it could be flashbacks. They could use Gold for flashbacks.
They wouldn't be in talks for contracts if they were just going to use them for flashbacks.
I mean, but there's so many flashbacks in the show. Like, you know how many like Rumpelstiltskin flashbacks we get? So I mean, you never really know.
Can you imagine the fan base being like livid over the fact that they would only be coming back for flashbacks? No, that ain't gonna happen.
I'm gonna say, like, I'm just gonna throw out a prediction right here. I think that the wedding, everything's gonna go smooth, and then it's gonna be like right as soon as they like say their vows, things are gonna go crazy, and that's when the battle's gonna happen. Because we'll be like so happy and be like, wow, everything's going great, and then all of a sudden we're gonna be slapped in the face with reality, and it's gonna hit us real hard.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine like if she's like fighting in her wedding dress?
Probably is what's gonna happen. That's probably what's gonna happen.
That would be really kind of intense.
I mean, she's badass, so it could happen.
Or she like rips it off and has like like a
her leather jacket
rip
and
away.
everything.
Her leather jacket on
so
underneath.
conveniently.
So let's do Once Upon a Weave now. Marissa, I'm gonna shoot it over to you.
Fine. I really like Tiger Lily's hair. It was pretty awesome in the, like that braid, and like, especially her in her wardrobe. And for once, it's not to an evil person. I'll give it to Tiger Lily. She was rocking it tonight.
She was. I would give it to Regina just because she had like the flip or whatever. Like when she was out like getting ready for the fight, she had like the one little flip right here, and I was like, girl.
Yeah. That's cool. I actually liked the Black Fairy's hair because it had like all those like little like things in it, and it just looked really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with Marissa. I had to give it to Tiger Lily because it was just
Tiger Lily.
It was full. It was purposeful. It was amazing.
It was.
I was like, ooh, I wish I had that hair.
Yeah.
So there's our Once Upon a Weaves. So that's gonna do it for us for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love talking about the show with you. Thank you for everyone who is in the live chat. Thank you for everyone who is listening to us on iTunes. Thank you if you're watching us live on YouTube or watching it later on YouTube. Just make sure you guys give us a like, a comment, let us know what you guys think of the show and what your predictions are. We only have 3 episodes left. I mean, we have next week's musical episode and then a 2-hour finale on the 14th.
So crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nuts. Be sure to tweet us and tell us what you're thinking. Where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson, and make sure you guys follow AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV all over social media. We do so much content here for you guys, and it's all free of charge. So please do us the honor of just supporting our podcast. You know, show us a little love.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back next week with more Once Upon a Time. So we will see you then.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.